This is a reading and a recipe from Eric Kim in the New York Times Magazine, and it is the Night Owl Special, Midnight Spaghetti. Sometimes a simple pasta of pantry staples is the best company. I recently moved in with a man. Until now, for the last decade, I lived alone in a shoebox studio apartment on the north end of Manhattan with my dog, Quentin Compson. Now the man, the dog, and I live in a shoebox one-bedroom in Brooklyn. It took a while to get used to having another occupy my space. When all I ever had to account for was myself and my wired-haired familiar. I didn't know how much I would rely on midnight for both my cravings and my work. As the man goes to bed, I stay up to write. I had heard from friends that this is how they got their alone time, by staggering the hours, a necessary cushion from the joys of coupled life. It doesn't hurt that I get my best writing done after hours and often finalize my recipes late into the evening, long after the man has gone to bed. This leaves me to the living room, to the kitchen, and to myself. If there's one dish that encompasses these precious hours of recuperative solitude, it has to be midnight spaghetti. I live my truest life in the hour from 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. in the spirit of spaghettata di mezzanotte, a late-night Italian spaghetti party. I know I didn't say that right, okay? Okay, we're back. Which often evolves, or devolves, depending on how you look at it, from the kind of evening that wants to linger. It's one of the few things in life that is always within reach, even when your fridge is practically empty. As my colleague David Tanis once wrote, the smell of pasta boiling is a heady, cheap thrill. What I love to eat most during this cherished time is spaghetti, with its comforting slipperiness. Other shapes work too. I've been known to make a mean midnight orzo with guanciale, pecorino romano and black pepper, sometimes egg yolks if I'm feeling in the carbonara way. Other nights, it's something punchier, like an olive vodka sauce made a la minute with fusilli. Tomato paste bloomed in some fat, such as butter or olive oil, then swirled with a splash of vodka and cream. For the man, it's a ragu, made the way of his grandfather's family in Ferrara. Maybe for you, the midnight pasta is a fridge clear-out, where you turn all of your leftover crisper drawer vegetables into a nubby sauce. I've always felt that my best recipes come from real life, from discoveries I make in the kitchen when I'm strapped for time and ingredients. One mezzanotte, I tossed thin spaghetti with chopped capers and umeboshi, those salty pink Japanese plums, in butter to great effect. Having just returned from Kyoto and Osaka, I missed those kinds of briny accents in my day-to-day. Another night, it was a simple lemon-buttered angel hair against a shield of simply dressed arugula and balsamic vinegar. Like a yin and yang of salad and pasta, a remnant of my macaroni grill years in suburban Atlanta. Recently, I tossed a little tagliatelle with the leftovers of our Sunday roast chicken with pine nuts and rosemary like a Venetian feast. Something I learned from Nigella Lawson's first book, My Culinary Bible, How to Eat. Midnight spaghetti, I've since gathered, is less a recipe than it is a means by which to linger into the night. My approach changes depending on the season, with my latest involving a jar of creamy peanut butter and a block of cheese. This nutty pasta is a dream to cook, requiring just a handful of pantry staples in one pot. Industrial-produced peanut butter anchors a creamy sauce swathed in umami, accentuated by a good salty Parmesan. These noodles recall those cheesy peanut butter crackers that you can always find in a highway vending machine. They also happen to be an ideal dinner for one, whether you're on the road or at your desk. Most nights, I love slurping these noodles hunched over my laptop, a glass of red wine in my reach, and my dog sleeping to my right. Before I head to bed, I load the dishwasher and run it. Maybe walk the dog once more. In the morning, as I sleep, the man slips out of bed and makes himself breakfast, usually toast and jam. Sometimes my leftover pantry pasta reheated. Without a trace, he unloads the dishwasher and puts a kettle of water out for tea. As his day starts, mine ends. And folks, I really loved that piece, and I hated this recipe, but I kind of added some things on my own, and I also Yeah, did like dark soy sauce, and I don't think I got the proportions right. So this isn't against Eric Kim, but I had like 4 bites of this. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed that reading. It felt like reading aloud in class, even though I'm just sitting here in my apartment. Anyway, adios.